Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, and let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight, Leo. And our card of the reading is the 5 of Wands, which has to do with strife. And I look at this card, it looks like such a happy card, right? Doesn't it? I don't know. How could it be strife? Although I will tell you, I think of strife sometimes as a really, really good motivator to get things going, to get things worked out, to get out of the lull, and so on. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. You can hit that little bell when you do subscribe. It will let you know when the next videos are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. It is. Oh my goodness. So we have a sickness in the house, trying to get over that. I know I've been probably a little silly in my readings lately, maybe a little bit going in circles sometimes, but you know how it is when you're a mom, you're taking care of a household, everybody's sick. Doing my best. But I'll tell you what, these images that are coming through with the tea that I am using right now, it's the Empire of Keeman, and what is the other one? It's the Ceylon black tea, and they come out beautifully. I'm steeping them a little bit differently, and they look really beautiful. So let's see. We're going to start right here. We have the cave, right? Also reminds me very much of Nuit, the goddess of the sky. And if you know who she is, or if you don't, in the reliefs that we still have depictions of her from Egypt, and it is a dark blue goddess who wraps over the top of whatever situation is going on beneath. She has stars, and she's the primordial mother, grandmother, keeper of the cosmos. You know, the thing that all things kind of come from. One of my favorite archetypes, definitely. So I feel there is kind of a sense of seeking shelter. You know, I feel like you really just are going into yourself. We have a figure here who is in a meditative state. You can see the legs kind of in that in the seated, crossed, and sitting upright with good posture there. And then over here, it looks like we have somebody who is kind of also seated, but it to me looks very much like the fetal position. Okay, so I almost feel like when we look at this here, we have the Great Mother bringing blessings down upon this, and it doesn't have to be a child or a baby, a fetus, but a person who is in this posture, maybe laying on their side, in this vulnerable posture here. So I do. I feel like we have this feeling of being quite overwhelmed. But I don't think it's necessarily about anything particularly big and bad, right? I feel that this is more about an accumulation of a lot of mundane things kind of going wrong. Maybe not a lot, maybe just a few. For me, it takes about three things in a row, and I am ready to lose my mind. I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to go back to bed. And I feel like it's just kind of this series of minor collisions in life, where things are just not working out on the right timeline. Things aren't going as planned. You had the best intentions. And, what they say about good intentions is that, I don't remember the saying, but basically that, they're always met with more problems. Okay. No good deed goes unpunished. Yes, I do think that, you had all these things planned, everything figured out. And it feels like it's all crumbling, right? Like it was going to be so easy, and well, maybe not easy, but you had taken time to figure out, like, how is this going to work out? Right? What am I going to do? What is this series of events, right? And then it hasn't been going your way. Okay. And it is overwhelming. A lot of shifting around, and, kind of the mental gymnastics of trying to get things sorted, and, just arranging and managing and all of this. So it makes sense that you would kind of have this feeling of wanting to retreat into your own little, cave, womb, and I see here holding the perfect circle. Okay. If you can see, the little circle right there. Okay. So, I feel that this is really a sense of bringing it down, coming down to the ground, getting those emotions in check, really just trying to lessen the stressors. That's what they always tell us when you go to the doctor. Go to the doctor and they tell you need less stress in your life, right? Get rid of some of the stressors. Well, how the heck do we do that? How does that happen? I don't know. I try to figure it out every single day. But I think that sometimes it's really important, especially when we feel the calling, to take some time for ourselves, to go back in, to go back in, to go back in. And it's not about evaluating anything. It's maybe not even about, trying to figure out or prioritize, or just absolutely giving yourself a moment to just be. And, hopefully, you can find some time for yourself like that. I know you're busy. We're all busy. Life is busy. But we have to make sure that we have, even if it's 5 minutes a day, where we can sit, we can be still, we can, just kind of let everything go. Maybe do some of the breath work. Breathing in, letting it go, exhale, and repeat and repeat and repeat. And if you, really have the time, maybe, going on the floor, finding your place, your power place in your home, in your temple, laying on the floor in that fetal position. See what that does for you. I've always had this like fascination with, and it sounds, maybe it sounds silly even saying it out loud. I don't think I've ever said this out loud, but I've always had this fascination with feeling how different places like in the house feel, just sitting like in, the middle of the kitchen, sitting in like the east corner of the dining room, maybe a little bit in a little less than center, lay down right in front of the window, the main windows of the house in the front, whatever it is, just trying out these different places, seeing how they feel, seeing if I can find somewhere that just feels right. And the time of day too, finding the right light, the right sound. If you remember what it was like, if maybe you still work at home, but if you remember when we were all kind of, at home all the time a few years ago, a couple of years ago, when that thing was happening, and just how you started to know what things were going to be like throughout the day, what it sounded like in your house, what the light was like, how much traffic, what are the animals doing? Are they being loud in the morning? Are they loud at 11:30 in the morning? Or are they all quiet at that time? And just, you just start to really know the flow of things. Now, I am a stay-at-home mom. And I do my readings at home. And this is my work. And so I'm here a lot. I see what's going on. Also, I'm a person, I like to look out my windows, I just always have. I'm not that I'm nosy. I just like to see what's happening. I'm nosy about what the birds are doing and the squirrels. I totally know about all of their dramas, at least most of them. So anyways, it's a interesting thing to find a place where you find some power in your own space. And maybe I challenge you here. Get off the furniture. Go sit in different places in your house. Go lay. Yeah, go lay in the middle of your kitchen. Go lay underneath your coffee table for a while. Go see what it feels like. What does the house look like from this different perspective? What do the trees look like outside the window if you're, laying beneath the window looking out? You might not know, but it's an opportunity. And it maybe is the thing that can de-stress you a little bit. It has no meaning, really. But maybe it has all the meaning. I don't know. There's really no, you're not really earning much, right? But you're learning. You're learning. And you might just find a new favorite place. I like finding new favorite things, new favorite places. Oh, okay, come on. Not now, water. All right, let's see. What else do we have going on? So we're being guarded by the infinite. Yes, I like that. Okay, and so as we let go of some of this anxiety, I want to look at this. It looks like a person who is hiking. Okay, maybe even has a little backpack on. And then it looks like we have a person over here who is holding a flower. And I think we have a person who is riding a horse. You can see them sitting right there, and here's the horse. And then somebody kind of gazing down Let's go back. We'll go back to that one. We'll stick with it on this side, and then we'll rotate it. I start to get ahead of myself. I know. So yes, I feel there is a spiritual journey here. Okay, we do. We kind of have this the wanderer, the hiker, the explorer, getting out there. Maybe into the interior. Maybe it is. Maybe you're going out of the house and, doing some things. I think it's important. I really do. I feel like when life really starts to, when things start to feel really discombobbled, right? When we're getting to that point where, we're dropping things and nothing seems to sit right. Everything feels a little off center. It's piling up. You don't have enough time. You feel like you're always running a little bit late. Not really sure if you got the thing right. And, I feel like that sometimes when I'm feeling it. I'm like, oh, is this the right day? I check my calendar and I look and I think, oh, okay, it's here. But what if I wrote it down wrong? Everything else is going. I dropped 2 things today in the kitchen and, and all the clothes I folded were kind of half folded. They just looked bad, and it just one of those days, right? And so I think it's really important for us to break away from our routine. Put aside what we can. Now, go into that space where you're just kind of, traveling your interior. You can lay on the floor of your living room and travel in your mind. Or you can also, go out for a walk, go look at something, go see something you've never seen. Go on, your city map or whatever. Find a park you've never been to. Or a part of the park. Go into a different entrance you've never been into. Whatever it is, go find something different. And see something new, okay? Get into a situation that is new. Now, be safe, of course, okay? Please be safe wherever you go. And if you live in an area where you need to have, a person with you, please do that, now we're going into this other place where I feel like, yes, you get there, you're doing your thing. Like I said, interior travel, going out into the world, looking at something, doesn't matter either way. Getting into that skipping, picking flowers, enjoying yourself. That sun is coming down on you. It feels nice. Now, if you're in the northern hemisphere, maybe it's pretty cold. Maybe there aren't any flowers to be picking, but getting out there, just enjoying, getting that fresh air. Something different. Looking at stuff, just looking. The waterways, the way the rocks change color. Dreaming about what used to be here, what will be here. It alleviates some of the stuff. I feel like sometimes we're so wound up that you get frazzled. Everything seems so amplified. And especially if you have I have sensory issues and, it just is overwhelming, right? To the point where it's just, you have to do something. And this going out or even self-soothing with laying down in a comfortable position and going into your mind, traveling in your mind's eye, right? Or going for a walk. These are things I learned for managing anxiety and panic and big emotions and, sensory overload and so on. But I think that, these are keys to getting into those interior spiritual places. It's not just about, our mental health, our brain chemistry, our, just the way that things are arranged in our, perception of reality, or how our hardware kind of, processes or takes on the software and all of that. It really is something that it's not unlike spiritual practices, techniques, religious practices, techniques. They all flow into each other. The more you get to know, like stimming, self-soothing, these different kinds of distractive techniques, very much in line with, meditation, active imagination, breath work, so on and so on and so on. Things that we talk about here a lot. Now, we do have the person on the horse, okay? And it's kind of meeting the person who is, I imagine, in this meadow, having a nice and joyous time. And I think when I look at this, I feel it's like, okay, we're coming into getting grounded again. We're very, we feel much more sorted. Everything's starting to, seem more reasonable, right? Manageable. And so I feel like getting back on that horse, right? Pulling yourself up and getting on that horse. And that's, a sense of our control, again, returning. And it's a perception. The control is a perception. Do we really have control over anything? I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe. It feels nice when you, feel firm in the belief in that moment. I can do this. I am under control. I got it, And so let's take a look. We also have a beautiful bird right here. It looks like something magnificent. I don't know what kind of bird it is. It's not a pheasant. I thought, oh, is this like a vulture? But it's not a vulture either. It just seems like a really fancy kind of bird. One of those like fancy chickens or something. I don't. But we also have up here, it looks like a person who is meditating again. We also have a person up here who is kind of on a pedestal of some kind, also meditating. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I feel like there is a sense of great opportunity through not just the practice of meditation, but I think finding something that really speaks to you. Okay, finding something that really gets you inspired. Now, maybe this is something like you like to listen to lectures, podcasts, you have a favorite author, a self-help thing, or maybe you are religious, whatever it is. I feel like it is important for you to also use this time, part of this time, to spend some time with this. Something that really speaks to you. And if you haven't found that yet, get exploring. There's so much out there. Now, you don't have to be dogmatic. You don't have to join anything. It doesn't have to be the only truth, right? Hopefully it is not. Hopefully it's just one of many, 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 many things that really kind of make sense to you. So you may weave together your own understanding. But sometimes we do. We need to pull out the old, for me, Alan Watts, Terrence McKenna, a lot. I mean, there's so many, but those ones are like my soothing. I really like Robert Anton Wilson a lot. He's kind of funny. There's just, Ram Dass, of course, is a lovely, lovely. I like to listen to different recordings of the Tao Te Ching, or the, oh my goodness. Why? I don't know. Anyways, I'm the Tao. Oh, my brain. But yes, and so we find the things. We find the things. We find the things that speak to. Oh, another one I really like, and I'm just totally shouting out all the ones. I really like. It's Gnostic Students or Gnostic Radio, and they have a series of lectures. I think they still have their YouTube. I don't know if they're still putting out lectures. But it is the Samael Onweor, and I'm really bad at pronouncing, but a beautiful collection of lectures about all kinds of things. A lot of Gnosticism and Hermeticism, but really, really interesting and super, super, just the energy, it's calming, very calming. Tao Te Ching. I said, yes, Tao Te Ching. Okay. I should know. My husband, Dove Serpentero, shout out to Paul, he actually translated or did his own translation. He was like doing it for months and months and months. It was really interesting to watch him go through the process, but he did his own translation. And I think that on his YouTube, he has a link to where you can get a copy of his translation and notes and stuff on that. But yeah, anyways, really, and I think that and with the fancy bird, whatever that fancy bird, pheasant, beautiful chicken, something, a sense of, success, achievement, something so beautiful to behold. And it is only really the thing that we can achieve through navigating our own being, our own existence, our own, the way that we are experiencing reality, how we are existing in this now. You can spend a lifetime looking for external, whatever that means, if it's external, internal, eternal, whatever. If it's external, if that is really even a thing, if we're all just projections of, or we are projecting and it flows back, I don't know, whatever. But we can spend a lifetime looking for others to give us the answers, for others to, fix us, to tell us how to, do everything in a prescribed manner. And that can only work for so long, And so when we become the masters of ourselves, when we decide and marry ourselves to that path, that's what this bird really represents to me, is the beauty of being the architect of your own life, of being the traveler on the path of your own life, of being the witness, okay, the magician, and all. I'm not going to go through every archetype, but all of the archetypes, right, along the way. And that is a beautiful thing, and nobody can take that away from you. Once you begin with that, once you really begin that path, you live that way, that's yours. That's yours. Okay, so let's see. So we have a star and we have a bird beneath it who is flying. So we have a goal. I know that you have a big goal, okay? This is a large star. We have a bird that is flying, and it's flying towards the left of the cup, which is towards the past, okay? So I feel like there is kind of a going back. I almost feel like there's a sense of wanting to make amends for something, so that you can move forward. And I think this is something that's really coming up in your work. is that it is a time for you to really, go back a little bit so that you can work on a blockage. Even, it's a perceived blockage. So often, and I think it's really important to make amends. And especially as you get good at doing it, you do it immediately. As soon as you do something wrong, you say something wrong, you've behaved poorly, made an accident, you misjudged something, whatever it is, immediately making amends for it. And that's so important, I think, in life. It's getting to a point where we can do that. Not just apologizing, but really taking accountability. Even when we think, oh, it wasn't my fault. How would I know? Well, take responsibility and we learn. You're stronger for that. And so I feel like this is part of the journey. I'm not trying to come down on you. I make mistakes all day long, every day. I have to make amends for them constantly. I'm kind of a fool. And sometimes, my emotions get out of my reach and I have to reel it back in and take accountability constantly. So, I'm not pointing fingers, no judgment. I think there's something very beautiful about somebody who understands and is willing to, confront some of their things. We all have our things. And so, Leo, I see this work really just leading to something so profound for you, and really coming out of that feeling of, the strife of things, the misalignment, really like the bull in the china shop, crashing everything down, and I feel you really getting away from that energy. Okay, so we're going to do the Cincy Child affirmation cards, and I just kind of flip through these, and I'm going to stop where it feels right. I'm going to flip it over, and it says, I am in control of my thoughts. There you go. Are you? Yes. Picking flowers, like we were talking about. And and I think really going into these places of, of beauty, of novelty, traveling the interior, meeting the beautiful creatures, intelligences that we do along the way, and learning something. Right? Open heart. All right, Leo, I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. Other than that, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They're very important to me. I know a lot of people on here also read the comments, and, I think just the love and support we all show each other on here, it changes the vibe of things. I really like that a lot of us in this space, not just even on my channel, but on other channels, really embrace one another, uplifting each other, and, kind of raising the vibration. I love that. I love that. I love it. So anyways, I'm going to say thank you. I love you. We will talk in a few days. Bye-bye. Happy Saturnalia.